And that should be live. Hopefully the volume is okay. To anyone tuning in after this is recorded, today we're going to be painting some Accursed Cultists. Continuing off from my stream on Sunday. Got quite a few to do. The three bigger ones are tabletop ready, but they don't have the level of polish I'd like on some of them. But they're coming along nicely, I'd say. Figured I'd start finally putting down some metal, some of the metal areas down with some color. This is Vallejo's light steel? No. Vallejo metal color Duralinium. I definitely didn't pronounce that right. Dura aluminum? Probably something in and around that. What's going on, Miku? Hail to the chat. Nice to see you guys on here. Yes, Chica Kago. Solo stream today. Just figured I'd do some hobbying, hang out with chat. Or it could be a solo stream, I don't mind. I'd be hobbying anyways. Definitely feels like we need to add some color to this lady's hair. Am I doing an undivided scheme or just something I thought would look cool? I'm sort of doing a scheme loosely inspired by Resident Evil 4 Cultists. It doesn't read the best on these models. On the Dark Commune here, it should read pretty well. Just something to really give those cultists a real religious vibe, you know? That's the idea. It reads well on my cultist mob models, which are actually Warhammer Fantasy Flagellants. Oh, and this This lady's got a metal shin guard. Can't forget that. Oh, and a metal hoop on her back. Okay, I think that's all her metal areas done. Let's jump around here while I got the metal paint out. Oh, well, you know what, Miku? It's good you're back on the bike regardless. And this brush is losing its accuracy. It's always sad when a nice brush begins to expire. I don't know if I agree with you there, Sellersberger. I feel like once I've used nice brushes, it's hard to go back. Mind you, I'm not using top shelf stuff, but you know, medium shelf is pretty good. I think that's all the metal areas on this guy. Okay, got a little chaos star here. Like a belt buckle. I don't know what this is. Good thing I got the Dark Commune online here, ready to reference. Or rather, Accursed Cultists. Okay, that's his skin. It's a flap of skin over top. Disgusting. This is a metal plate, so you can paint that metal. And he's got his shoulder guard and his faceplate. There we go. And then now that my brush doesn't have as much paint on it, I can do these eye holes without fear. Okay, that looks like a leather covering that drapes down over in front here. I think that's it for this one. What's up, Carl? How's it going? I don't disagree with you. Yeah, I think the Dread Talons is, if people are doubting its efficacy, that's, I suspect, too short-sighted. It's too early. Seems like it definitely has play. Probably the most play of any leadership-based rule set we've seen. Oh, look at this guy. Awesome. What an awesome model. You think his face is up here, and then, uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's his mouth. That's wicked. I'm impressed. I think that's it for this guy's metal parts. Oh, I guess that's another plug port. Or it could be an eye hole. I don't know. It'll become what it becomes. Okay, on this dude, we got a Chaos Star. That's easy. A little medallion, of course. Shoulder pad. So I'll make it my mission to keep myself in frame. Now, what is going on with this guy? Guess we got a belt buckle and that's it. Look at this. Look at this. We got a stray. It's ruining everything. Alright, another one done, and I think this is the last of our small accursed cultists. Okay, he's got a breastplate here. Got a faceplate. Oh, I see you, Miku, working on that 9.5. Hell yeah, man. I think you gotta find what you can enjoy most in the hobby and pursue that. I think that's it for this one. While I have the metal out, I'll probably should do these Dark Commune as well. There's still quite a bit left on my base here. This lady seems so messed up, there's barely any metal pieces left on the model. Yeah, that should do it for this one. Hey Bryant, how's it going? I am working on my Word Bearers collection. Well, these are some cultists for the Word Bearers, some Dark Commune and some Accursed cultists. Got these in a trade. With some orc models I had purchased but not done anything with. I mean, I'm assuming I want these swords to be metal. At the moment, I have no plans to do anything fancy for the power swords in this army's color scheme. Or for this Word Bearer army scheme. Just looking up reference for the Dark Commune here. Yeah, so you got metal swords, metal shoulder pads, and helmets, and some trim. That's about it. At first, I thought this was a bare head. Like, sorry, this was exposed scalp. Turns out it's not. It's actually black, like it's supposed to be part of his hood. Which would have been a funny mistake if I had gone through with it. Probably gonna make this trim gold. Since these guys are so elite. Not your average cultists, these boys. Oh, I hear ya. The rules are a bit disappointing for the Word Bearers. I'm not particularly fond of them. I'll probably dabble with some house ruling, see how that goes. See if I can come up with something that's exciting enough to share with a thematic battle report or not. Because I think there's so much creative potential to represent the Word Bearer's mechanics uniquely. Really make them shine as the malefic kind of extreme of all the Chaos Space Marine legions. Not sure about these daggers. Maybe they should have metal trim. Maybe gold trim everywhere would look funny. Oh yeah, Black Knight. I saw the preview on Warhammer Community. That new mission pack. The most exciting thing, superficially of course, is the reintroduction of raising the banners. I quite like the vibe of that task in any mission type. These banners are so epic in 40k. I wish they were better in game. They're kind of disappointing in my opinion, but raising banners is so cool. I just think of those old, like, I think Crimson Fist artworks for Space Marines. Everything going to hell and just a bunch of guys by their banner holding it down, you know? Super cool. Thought I'd mute myself while I shook this paint pot. Oh, look, this guy's got a little buckle. Oh, and a bionic arm. Damn, look at this guy. His bionic arm. I didn't know he was such a hero, such a survivor. It was one of those kits that came out and I didn't do any like deep dives on how they look. It's just, you know, oh, those new cultists came out, a cultist command squad came out, whatever, and I kind of just went on with things. But now that I'm painting them, all these little surprises. I think I'm going to give these guys purple robes, sort of like the those leader cultists in Resident Evil 4. Got purple robes, I think. I'm not sure what's the hierarchy there for the Resident Evil 4 cultists, the robes. If the red guys are of greater seniority than the purple robed ones. For sure, the black robe cultists are the basic guys. Okay. Well, I think those are all his parts done. This guy had a buckle note. His was held on by a chain. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, next we got this dude. Very cool model. For sure, I'm making that metal. All his candles, I don't know. He's got 4 candles. You could do like 1 for each Chaos God. That could be pretty cool, you know? And then I don't know about this one. Maybe you clip that one off. How about that? That's for the theme. Oh, he's got his Game Boy here. I gotta paint that. Maybe I should paint it like a Game Boy. With like an olive green screen and just like a gray plastic. Could be pretty funny. This guy's got a little belt buckle. I see your message there, Pollux. Rogue civilians. Like a conscript, like a renegade guard conscript type model? Is that the vibe you're looking for? Then we got this icon bearer. This is actually a sweet icon bearer. It's very word bearers adjacent. So that makes me happy. Normally I do green fire for my word bearers, but because it's so similar to the chapter badge, it might be a good opportunity just to paint that with more of a normal fire, like a reddish, like, you know, like a normal salamander's fire effect. It's worth considering, even though it's counter to the scheme. Yeah, for more of a sleeper agent vibe, I guess the Solar Auxilia would look cool. They're very neutral. And they look unique compared to normal guardsmen, which might help for what you're after. Not as disheveled as Renegade Guard, but more put together than your typical conscripts. Nice, 11 concurrent viewers. What are you guys working on? Post it in the chat. He's got a pretty epic shoulder pad. it's just this dude who's lacking heraldry in the squad. Guess that floating head is a lot to contend with. Chaos Star, belt buckle, and then you gotta hit this chain. And I guess this very cool drum-fed auto pistol. Then also got a pouch, some frag and crack grenades. Does that mean this unit has the grenades keyword? Is that what that means? I'd have to check, to be honest. You think it would be consistent, but it's not always the case. Hey, Misfit, how's it going? How's it going? Just painting some accursed cultists and dark commune. And maybe if there's time, put some paint on this hatchman. I like this model far more than I should. Well, last one of the dark commune here for all the metal colors, which is nice. Painting metals is kind of a drag. It's not the most fun thing to put down, in my opinion. Kit bashes for the GSC, huh? What kind of flavor were you looking for? It's interesting. Genestealer cults are one of those armies that I feel, at least in my play group, is quite underrepresented. A bit of a rarity. Which is funny, because that's like, in lore, what I'd imagine would be more common than these endgame level threats that most other armies are. Probably... This is either going to be silver or like a brass, I'm thinking, but I don't know if I want it to... I don't know which color I want to use if... It all depends on what this weird organism becomes. I noticed there's a piece of something here. Got these models in a trade, so they're not... There we go, okay. Cool, cool. Now, what are the other metal parts on this cult leader? Got some metal plates on her hat and her boot and her corset, and I think that's it. Some bangles on the side here. Those could be gold, but I mean, a bright silver undertone isn't a bad thing. Since I'm gonna make the robes on these Dark Commune purple, I think silver might look really good against the Naggaroth Knight. The gold will contrast better from a color theory point of view, but I don't know if I'm wanting contrast on these models just yet. So I'll probably have gold on all the armor trim. Well, if we're putting gold on the armor trim, probably will want it. Decisions. GSC familiar conversions, eh? The only familiars available are in the Brood Covens box. Oh, I see. You need a little token, like a little pet, like the Eldar cat lady. I don't know. I want to say Urguls, because they're also... But they might be not the right scale. The familiars are pretty small, I'm pretty sure. Maybe you could use like a spore mine. It's a Tyranid model, and the size might be good for a token style, like 25mm base. And you can imagine the narrative at play there, where the spore mine's spores. Maybe like the Tau have these different drones for different purposes. Maybe the Tyranids and the GSC have different spores for different purposes. That's not such a crazy idea, right? What is this? Okay, these are metal for sure. I guess I just go... Oh, they're sprouting out of her back. Nice. This is some pretty... I don't know if the... It's some pretty weird music I'm listening to. I don't know if it's coming across on stream. It's a playlist of relaxing Sega Saturn songs. They're just kind of pretty chill to listen to while you're painting, but you never know what you're gonna get. Some weird, obscure game soundtrack, and... You know, sometimes you find some bangers, though, and sometimes you don't. Oh, that's a wicked idea, Misfit. Of course, right? Of course the Genestealer cults would have Genestealer servo skulls. Why would they use the human skull? They should find that, like, abhorrent. Or maybe Genestealer skulls are too rare. I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's a good idea. I say go with it. I knew it. I knew I'd missed something. Alright. That should be all the metals done. Thank God. Thank God that's over. Famous last words, right? Oh, hell yeah, Sellers. Hell yeah, Symphony of the Night's a wicked soundtrack. Holy shit, Misfit. Is your Genestealer Cult army the, like, Rusted Cog? Is it like that kind of style? That sounds like it. I'm a fan of all those sub-factions. You have one that's more zealous and more religious-based. And then you have the Mechanicum-style ones, the militia-based ones. The Pauper Princes, I think, were the very religious style oriented subfaction of Genestealer cults. Or Bladed Cog, yeah, not Rusted Cog. Rusted Cog implies that they're like dying. that's like counter to the kind of imagery you'd want for your cult. Yeah, the Bladed Cog. Okay, let's get some reds going. I am happy to announce I cleaned up my wet palette. Look how beautiful it is. So I got some corn red. We'll use some Army Painter's red in there as well. Well, I'll be mixing these two colors together for my base red, and this kind of goes on as a layering color. The Genestealer Cults of the Obsidian Coil. Sounds legit. I like when homebrew can just slide right into lore to the point where a newbie like couldn't tell the difference. Okay, the plan is to do red for the red robes for the Accursed and purple for the commune. So we're gonna lay down the base colors for our Accursed Cultists robes. Got the Wordbearers red here and the corn red, and I'll add a bit of glaze medium to my palette. It's fine. I've gotten kind of accustomed to just having it nearby. Kind of like a security blanket, but a security glaze medium. And then I'll just grab some to help the blending process along. And I start putting some colors down. Oh yeah, this is way more fun than painting metal. Already. Initially, I was going to make these guys have purple robes, which is why we got a purple undertone here. But it's not making a bad effect. I kind of think it's helping things look more interesting. Yep, this is a song from a game called Top Anglers, a fishing game from Sega Saturn. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get on these playlists, which is why I find them so entertaining. God damn it, look at this. Look at this. This is supposed to be metal. God, I knew it. I freaking knew it. What are you painting, Pollux? I feel like that struck a nerve. Hey, top anglers, you know, didn't expect it, but it's pretty chill. I guess that's what you would want when playing a fishing game, right? You're kind of trying to relax. But then maybe when you catch a fish on the line, it gets like really intense, you know? Like edge of your seat kind of OST. Yeah, this is the large model in the unit that probably is the most depressing. Definitely gives me a kill me please kind of vibe, you know? What's up, Joshua? How's it going? Nice to hear. Nice to hear people are all in agreement that trim is the biggest whore to paint. Here's a question for chat. What's the best way to paint trim? Like in terms of order, do you paint the inside of the trim first? Or do you paint the trim first and do like an operation type procedure trying to fill color in the lines? Feel like we could have, at least in my local play group, there's like two schools of thought. Like it's pretty evenly divided. I find it funny. Everyone thinks their way is the easiest way. Spray gold, fill blue. Okay, Joshua. Okay. No, that's all right, Echoes Within. You're allowed to skip parts of the painting process if you're new. As long as your fellow, like the people you're playing with, as long as they're appreciative of, you know, the effort put through, I think everyone's happy. Everyone has their own standards anyways. I prefer trim last. That's usually how I've tried both. And I'm back and forth. And as of right now, I land on a. I'm on team trim last, not trim first. Whoops. Well, who am I kidding? There's always a bit of cleanup. Alright, just 2 small guys left for the red base coats. I seem to get a bit more corn red. Okay, this dude is a mess. Look at his foot. It's truly disgusting. Some sort of elephant-esque mutation. And look, he still got a human foot at the end there. Disgusting. Wait, what is this? Nice, Joshua. Somehow he yet lives. Yeah, I'd be pretty perturbed by that. You spend a lot of time doing something for someone and then they just paint over it. The insult. The audacity. Yeah, this is pretty chill music from Snatcher. Oh, an old Hideo Kojima game, I think. If I got my gamer facts right, I think that's the case. Might have watered that down a bit too much. Oh well. Sometimes the uneven application can do some self-shading for you. Maybe I can just roll with it, especially on a, you know, from a practicality point of view. Like, I'm spending way too much time on models that, you know, aren't Primarchs, but painting is fun and the models are nice, so why not? Okay, I think we can start working on our Cultist skin. Excuse me. Cultist skin. Yeah, I use a little bit of a pre-made recipe with these 4 colors. Base coats, main tone, low tone, high tone. Just kind of enjoy painting. Which again is like a ridiculous procedure for models such as these, but you know, sometimes you gotta have a really nice painted Accursed Cultists. It's just the nature of things. So this color on their skin right now is that base color. Just on the areas that I know I want to build up brightness, I'm just going to hit them with another coat, because the first coat went on a little thin. So I'm just kind of haphazardly trying to layer up brighter values and begin the painting process. Kind of the best process, really. I probably wasn't in frame when I said all of that. My humblest apologies. It's the thought that counts. Look at that. We have another bit of plastic just all right. The fun part about these bare-chested models is that you get to kind of follow some anatomy, which is a bit of a rarity with all the power armor. This guy's got some mutations. I need to be mindful not to get lost in painting because I want to create a blend there to our, or to my demon color, I suppose you could say, for this unit. Right, so that's a demon arm coming through the human skin, which is here. Wearing him like a sleeve. What's going on here? Oh, okay, yeah, like a t-shirt. Oh, wearing them like a t-shirt. Yeah, chaos is no bad consequences with chaos, that's for sure. Do you think having a demon trying to rip out of you feels a bit uncomfortable? Yes! I would imagine. I imagine it'd be quite uncomfortable. It's like at least as bad as childbirth. I guess, you know. Hypothetical question, would you want Big E to come back but still stuck in the chair, or have him with full warp entity? That's a good question. Seems like he's going full warp entity, at least based on the Dark Imperium books, which I think are probably the furthest in the timeline that we got, I think. Pretty sure Dawn of Fire stuff is all before. Or maybe the Arcs of Omen campaign books. That that narrative is the newest stuff, probably. Yeah, Boon tables Spawndom? Yeah, that's what that was called, right? Or Spawnhood? Spawnhood and Demonhood? Something like that. Yep. Turning into a Chaos Spawn. It's definitely what you were aiming for when you set out on your path to Chaos. It's too bad there isn't like a Slaneshi accursed cultist wearing someone like a skin suit in the way Ned Flanders wears his skiing suit, and then you could make nothing at all jokes. I feel like there's a good opportunity there. So what's everyone's guess? Is this a hook coming out of here, out of his pant leg, or is this some sort of mutation? I think it's a hook. But why would you have a hook so low at the bottom of your pant leg? Yeah, local Raven. I think you're right, on both accounts. let's layer up a bit more. A bit more. Nope, I will not make it a pink tentacle Miku. I've decided the demon color for this warband will be white and teal. Well, white fading to teal. Layer up a little bit more on his back since it's so exposed. And it really will stand out when the model's on the tabletop. Okay, well, I'll start adding the lowlights into this guy. Some Vallejo Purple Shadow. Oh, now that I got this, this color here is very the Reichland Flush Shade. And I like to mix that with a yellow I have for like a dirty blonde kind of hair color. Like a light brown, dirty blonde hair color. So I'll try to remember to do that. But sometimes you get lost in the blend. Lost in the Blend. Cool band name. Eesh. Look at this guy. It's probably about as much as I want to go on the body. So we're going to start blending in our demon appendages here. We can add some dark colors near the ears though. That's usually where you want to emphasize some shadow and some warm colors. Before I forget, I'll add some dirty yellow, some AK dirty yellow to my palette just to do that base color for that one cultist's hair. I feel like a dark blonde color will, uh-oh, gotta fix this. I feel like a dark blonde hair color will help the overall composition of that model. Where is she? This one. It's a bit brighter than Reikland Flesh Shade, but I think it'll work. Well, it's a lot lighter than Reikland Flesh Shade, and it's not a base paint. Maybe just a straight brown wash or a brown ink over top. Once I get another coat of this on, and it might get a result closer to what I had in mind. Oh yeah, on the topic of Primarchs coming back, it's almost certainly Russ. They're obligated. They're obligated. They've made their bed. He has to come back. All the 4 special kind of chapters, Primarchs have to come back. Well, except for Sanguinius. Obviously, that would be in poor taste. Hey, remember that trait your whole army's built around? That's ingrained in your army's lore? And always has been? Yeah, never mind. Where's our guy? Okay. I'll get some... What color's next? I want to start adding some of the color to the demon flesh. So it'll be dark sea gray, highlighting with game color off-white. Well, Joshua, your brother has good taste. He says he'll quit the hobby if Sanguinius comes back. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about quitting the hobby, but definitely I think harshens the vibe of the Blood Angels. I think Sanguinor is gonna get a new model on a 60mm base like Helbricht and be like you're not a Primarch, but is a Primarch model like he is for Black Templars. And I kind of think Sanguinor is also not in the best taste either. Might be a hot take. Could be. So you're going to create a blend in his armpit there. Well, you don't really have to because you won't see it, but that's where the mutation is blending. Just kind of merging into that piece there. Yep, I'm inclined to agree with you, Joshua. I agree that Horus and Sanguinius should be set aside. Abaddon serves as Horus's successor, and I think Sanguinor is doing that for the Blood Angels. Or I suspect will. I can't see GW not giving the Blood Angels a 60mm character centerpiece model when all the other special Snowflake chapters have that, you know? It's kind of feels like one of these don't belong. He's completely disgusting. Okay. There's a lot going on with this guy. Yeah, you're right, Pollux. Horus is way more dead than, that's a funny phrasing. He's way more dead than Sanguinius. Indeed. Indeed. The Emperor, burned out his soul, right? That was the old lore anyways. I doubt anything's changed in the Siege of Terra. Pretty sure I would have heard by now if something did. I'm going for a white ghoulish type color. I guess he's just all his insides. This is a very Chaos Spawn-like. Slight ambiguity around what in the Siege of Terra? You've piqued my curiosity. I hear bits and pieces. My buddy Army reads or has been reading the Siege of Terra books as they've been coming out, so I get him to give me the TLDR usually. Oh shoot, I shouldn't be painting this. I shouldn't be painting that. Or I shouldn't be painting it with so much effort, rather. That is supposed to be a different color. And that color is Incubi Darkness, which I have somewhere. There we go. And I'm just gonna start blending it in somewhere around here. Yeah, this hand is, I guess, just the fingers. I mean, the hand is, it's in mid transition. It's not still fairly human. So I think it'd be less teal. Right, this is what I got on my palette here. So the Incubi, Dark Sea Gray, I'm just doing like a gradation of greater and greater Incubi darkness. And we'll just grab the lesser color or the greater color and apply it as appropriate. Well, he's starting to get more interesting. And now I'm putting down what is basically just pure Incubi Incubi darkness. Just gotta make sure I get his nails did, you know? And I'll also get his horns, but some of these I think are under his flesh, which is certainly disgusting, but it means I don't want to paint them with Incubi. Yeah. This one is for sure under the skin. Probably all of the fangs should be incubi. Help give the jaw that's formed here a bit more readability. Oh, look, we got some fangs down here. Hey, Tasteful Avenger. My brush brands, I guess my favorite would be Green Stuff World Silver Series. As a precise, kind of medium grade workhorse, but that still has like an awesome point and like a decently sized body, right? Really nice. I quite prefer them. AK has good workhorse brushes too. I don't have any here, unfortunately. Don't much care for Citadel brushes. I think Army Painter is like a decent, just workhorse, whatever brush too. But that's, yeah, those are the brushes I prefer. Okay, probably can return to the skin now. We're gonna have to really stretch the skin. Try and sell that effect. I'm not really sure what that entails. Just brighter, and then maybe a bit of a blue undertone, like with a wash or a glaze after. I don't know. I don't know. Not really something I've had to paint before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of that was off frame. I was referring to this area here. Where there's clearly a horn, but it is still under the skin. You know, maybe I spoke too soon. This guy is smiling after all. Maybe he's down with the sickness. try and enhance the smile if we can. Can take a bit of this purple shadow and just drag it into the eye area, create a bit of a line to suggest a bit of wrinkling of skin. That happens when you smile. Oh, you know what? These wraps could be red, that's for sure. Will help with the model's readability. Tips on painting feathers, eh? Trying to think if there's any feathers I've painted. Definitely painted a lot of plumes. I guess that's similar. As for tips, not... I can't really speak from practice for painting feathers. I would say the same kind of principles apply. I mean, for a feather, especially if it's a key accessory that you want to draw attention to, I would probably try and do some sort of fade on it because I have a sickness. I mean, you could always just go with the reliable wash and edge highlight, the standard method. You want to layer in some different tones? Yeah, I think that's probably what you want to do, right? So if you have a shape, you know, a feather like this, you probably want to just start layering in. I guess the term would be feathering in, right? You'd have, if this line here is the center, is that reading on camera? I probably need more. Like if this is your feather center, geez, this is, like I think you want to use the brush strokes to suggest the detail that's there, and just let the brush strokes create the read of, you want the brush strokes to suggest the appearance of the individual bristles, I guess, of the feather. That's probably what you'd want to do. So with a thin brush, you just paint along the breadth of the feather, if that's what it's called, the flat. Like if it's a sword, like the flat of the feather. None of these mutations have feathers. Just checking real quick. We got leathery wings, but that's about it. Okay, I'll do a quick second coat on this Accursed Cultists here. They have different names for the larger ones and smaller ones. I can't remember which one is which. We got the small horrors and the large horrors. That should suffice. Well, it seems like we're going for a more pale blonde now. Which is probably better than having these two competing primary colors. But I was going to go for more of a brownish. I don't know. Could always leave it. It's not the worst. Kind of weird for cultists to have such bright hair colors. But, you know, I guess that's what Chaos do. I'm going to start introducing my brighter color with white flesh. And this is going to layer into the pale flesh that I've already put down on my palette. Torments are the big uns. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you. That sounds correct. We're going to go with that. Torments. Torments and small ones. That's the official designation now. Just really try and suggest the emotion, because you can use the different values to accentuate things. Well, really, you want to use a warmer color for the lips, but it's okay. These are cultists. I kind of like that. I had in mind the kind of skin from the Resident Evil 4 cultists. It's all like pale or powdered, or I don't know what they do. Painted. So really kind of maybe it's trauma from my youth. The scary Resident Evil 4 cultists, but I don't know. I just feel like Wordbear's culters would be of that aesthetic. This guy's shredded. Look at this deltoid. Damn, this guy doesn't skip arms. Oh, nice, Lycos. A new Firebrand. I never picked up a Firebrand model from the new Cultist set. Or from the Blackstone Fortress set, or whatever he first came in. It's a cool model, though. I thought he finally has rules to be a leader. I do think that's a positive change. A nice quality of life gain, because you don't want to I mean, maybe you do from a rules point of view. Maybe you do want to have lots of Dark Commune units. But it's kind of, you know, thematic, one could say, to take a single unit of Dark Commune, because you wouldn't have leaders everywhere. And now you have this lesser leader, the Firebrand, to go off on missions with the goon squads. Okay. He's looking pretty decent, I think. Just tone down some of this on his back here. Yeah, I can appreciate wanting to get multiple Chaos Firebrands. Um, I haven't looked into the deeper layers of the Cultist mob detachment, or whatever it's called. But I assume you got some play. Some special sauce to make the Cultists feel good. I know you can bring models back. Look at that Street Fighter leitmotif coming in there. Actually, I don't know if you guys can hear the music. I just might sound crazy. Alright, we can probably start layering up some reds. I'll use the white flesh color. I think it'll just do the job. Oh, actually, crap. What am I doing? What am I doing? I wanted to use pure red. I was about to repeat a similar mistake, where I found the cloth was looking too pink. Brilliant 2 pink, so I just got some pure red. I'm gonna add some saturation back in there. I think just adding an off-white to whatever color you're using is a pretty surefire, quick and dirty edge highlighting color. Like, it's pretty effective for edge highlighting purposes, but when it comes to layering, like you're just covering too much surface area, and I find it just tinges the whole color. In this case, not like tinges it away from what I want it to read as. Want red robes, not pink robes. Can't hear my music? Well, that means I'm safe from the copyright overlords as well. I think the music was audible last time, and it wasn't too bad. I got 1 claim on the stream. Not in any trouble with the channel, just the automated kind of do something about this. So I chose mute that section of the stream. Let me see if I can bump up the music, although right now it's kind of weird. You get some weird songs from time to time. Maybe I'll wait. This is very like the kind of music you'd expect in Ghost of Tsushima, and when you hear it in the game, this traditional kind of Japanese style music, or what I assume is traditional Japanese music, it's very atmospheric. But when you're painting Warhammers on stream, it might be a bit jarring. Look at these nice, there's something about red. I tell ya, there's something about red. See if I can bump this up at all. Maybe. I don't think that's allowed. It's registered on OBS now, so that should mean something. Red squig gives you wings. Is that an original? Haven't heard that one before. Though the logic is sound. Just gonna dilute a bit of this dark red with some glazing medium and just try putting it inside this guy's mouth, see what happens. He's gonna look like a clown, or I'm hoping it'll just look like he has really a really gory kind of smile is what I'm hoping for. Might have to pull some of that paint away. I'll highlight the skin a little bit. This demon skin anyways. Because it's looking a little flat in comparison. I think a Colia green shade wash would really go a long way here too. Yeah, he's looking alright. Don't really like these studded pants. Maybe I'll just leave them black. Oh, well that's a bit of a mistake there with the edge highlighting, but might be one of those mistakes you just live with. On a model like this, that's probably not worth. Probably not. Alright, let's do this armband. I'm gonna take my Colia green shade here, and I'm gonna give all these demon parts a wash. I'm just gonna dilute the green shade a bit with some glazing medium from my palette. And we're just gonna stick it in there. If it hues the man skin, that's okay. It might help marry the two component colors together anyways, right? And then while the wash is like in the process of drying, I enjoy relayering in some blends. If you get the timing right, I think it yields a pretty good effect. Alright, this guy's looking alright. So with some off-white here, that game color off-white, I'm just going to dab his eye holes a little bit. And I'm inclined to not deal with any pupils, because he's supposed to be a spooky guy. And that kind of subtle eye painting is quite taxing, and I don't think, you know, I did it on an Eldar Guardian, but I think, you know, in fairness, the Eldar Guardian's heads are a bit bigger. Maybe. That's a really small eye he has here, man. Nope. Fucked it up. Okay. Well, we overpainted it. And just like trim, it'll probably be easier to clean it up afterwards. I think he's got pretty good readability. I think washes will take care of the rest. Just a few choice washes. And let's do a few dabs on his teeth to suggest those. Doesn't read so well on camera, but with the naked eye, just 3 dabs suggest the spacing in between his teeth, and it looks pretty good, I think. I'm going to use some Carberg Crimson and just place it in some choice spots, just to add some warmth. Places like his eye, his ear, armpit's not bad. I'm grabbing some purple to do the inside of the cape or cloak. And it's fairly convenient right now to use some of those skin tones to brighten up this purple. while it is adding another hue, I think it's one that'll complement the direction that the color's value is increasing in. So this is an awkward spot. How am I? Well, if you can't hit it, maybe that means you shouldn't paint it. Well, there it is. Purplish. So I'm going to use some of that purple shadow with the Nagaroth Knight to increase that value. And just layer a little bit of brighter tones to this folded over piece. Oop, that's too much. Yeah, that's way too bright. It's almost like a Gengar purple. It's too much. Oh, it's starting to come together. I'm gonna get my Poxwalker shade and give this guy another similar treatment, but just add some cool spots. Cool spots. And the Poxwalker shade is fairly inoffensive, I find. It actually might be the case that for these particular materials we've laid out, it's only inoffensive to this context. Maybe that's a good color to try and add some blue to that stretched skin. Well, not blue, but teal. I mean, ideally you'd want to sell the effect that the skin is so stretched that it's almost showing through. Well, it is what it is. And I'll grab another little bit and I'll put this towards his nose, his mouth, and just pile this up on his jaw here. It's usually where you want to add cool colors anyways when painting faces. And in this guy's case, it happens to be where his mutation is, so it should enhance the look, I think. Then I'll get some Game Color black, and I'm just gonna start painting his pants. Put some black near our dark sea gray, and that should be More than enough to work with to build up the pants. I don't quite enjoy painting metals, and so I'm probably just going to give the metal a wash. And because everything else is so painted, it won't even matter. That's probably all I need for that. Boots are going to be brown. Belt will be brown. I'm going to do all the medals and belts at the end. Yeah, but that's Accursed Cultist mostly done. Right at the top of the hour, too. Oh, maybe I'll go for a few minutes more. Hey, Sir Dragdord. Hello, thanks for stopping by on the stream. Regarding the changes or improvements for Dark Ritualists, I appreciate it, first of all. Best place to send it would probably be on Discord. Most probably. There's a link to my Discord on the YouTube channel. And I think in my Discord, if I check, there is a channel for, there's like a channel called DevYour40k. You can just @ me, throw it in there and @ me. That seems appropriate. Since we got the demon skin out, let's continue defining this torment. Here's a question. What should the wing skin be? The same gray-white color or a contrasting color? or something to be more subtle. It's not a common appendage type or material type on most of the Chaos Space Marine models. I guess there's the Demon Prince, but I think that's it. So I didn't really have anything in mind for what that kind of color would be in the army. Oh, that is quite bright. Should be okay, though. Should be okay. Wonder if there's any decent Accursed Cultist proxies in the Age of Sigmar range. Maybe some sort of ghoul, like a vampire model, or maybe they have their own kind of Accursed Cultist. Look at the nice muscles on this guy. Man, anatomy is such a treat. When most models have armor. It's rare you get to paint a bit of anatomy. Those are some decent blends, I think. That's looking pretty good. Old-fashioned Slaanesh Demonettes, eh? It's not a bad idea. But one does not simply acquire old Slaanesh Demonettes. I think these fades are adding a lot, like they're carrying a lot of weight for these models, even though they're not, like that's, like none of the details are done, but just the transitions add a lot of immediate interest, I think. Like if I unfocus and look at the model, it feels like it's just appealing tones and variety. Not tones and variety, tones and value. I'm actually pretty pumped that the changes to the new mission pack feature a lot of, are encouraging a lot of use of battle line units. Because it really felt kind of awkward, like... Feels like most people weren't taking battle line for the mission play, they were taking it more for... If your battle line happened to be good, like Khorne Berserkers, then you would take them. So hopefully, we'll see how things fall, but I like that direction. At least as a goal. I 100% agree, Joshua. Battle lines should be the core of your army. They should always be there, barring like, and this is like not the way they decide to do detachments, but I was gonna say like if you have a detachment like White Scars, if their bikes became battle line, like barring those niche units, but then the rule still applies, so I guess never mind. Yeah, battle line should be the center. It should be the foundation of your army. This is like a trim type of situation here. But it's skin trim. Not the typical metallic chaos trim. Okay, that looks good. Will it blend? Yeah, this is pretty chill music. Oh yeah. Look at these blends. We can use some of these skin tones to paint some of this guy's teeth. Maybe we can get away with that. I mean, it's pale enough. Paint's a bit wet there. I mean, it created a blend, but yeah, it's fine. Actually, while I have the black going, I should maybe darken these horns a little bit. Darken the horns towards the ends, just for some added visual interest. This guy looks awesome. It's like a Diablo head. It's like if Diablo and Asmodan kind of got thrown into a blender. I feel like this is what would come out. Look at those pearly whites. Maybe we should do this guy too while we're here. Oh, looks like he's missing a few. Well, I suppose I will wrap up for today. Before I shut her down, I guess we can do a little review of what we painted. One small duder. Look at him. I think these cultists are going to look really great once they're all assembled. Also, all assembled together on the tabletop. I'll probably do a spin job for them and upload it as a short. A little bit of touch-ups on this guy, and I think some nice blends were done on this Torment here. Anyways, thanks to everyone who tuned into the stream. I hope you guys were able to get some progress on your projects as well. Anyways, catch you guys in the next one.